It's night 23, and Allison instantly speaks with Anna in private to go over what happened at Tribal Council. Allison explains how she essentially prevented Adriana and any other hidden idols from being played in order to get rid of Karen's rival. She is their ally after all, and it wouldn't have been smart to continuously upset her. Plus, getting rid of Tanner means they got rid of someone within the strong trio between him, Ivy, and Adriana. Anna isn't impressed because she was forced to vote between her two closer allies in the game, and now one of them is out of the game. She wanted Sarah to be the easy vote tonight, so they had a reason to flip down the line due to the crunch in numbers. Allison tells her they still have such a good path to the final four with their alliance with Karen and Boo Boo. Mark showed he's with the four of them after voting Tanner last vote. Adriana chats with Sarah, expressing how disappointing the last vote was. Sarah says they need to come together once and for all. She reminds Adriana how she once saved her by tipping her off about the votes going her way back at the swap. Adriana knows, hence why she wants to work with her now. Sarah says their biggest threat right now is Allison, since she's clearly the main character now. Karen later speaks with Ivy to manage their relationship after the Tanner vote off. Karen apologizes for taking out Tanner, but she didn't want to keep her disgusting cousin any longer. Ivy understands since they have a rough past. At this point, she's still open to working with her. The only person she does not respect is Allison because of how fake she is around camp compared to Tribal Council. Karen says that she can't vote Allison out right now. The only people she sees as her targets right now are Adriana and Jaya, since they clearly have something going on with each other. Boo Boo confronts Jaya as everyone knows she worked with Adriana at the last vote. Jaya admits she did and regrets everything now because she was simply desperate to be in the numbers. Boo Boo says she made a huge mistake because everyone is targeting her, Adriana, and Ivy now. Jaya sighs, finding it unbelievable how her game is going downhill each round. Mark joins Anna and Allison to see where their heads are at after the last vote. Allison firstly thanks Mark for keeping her, and he says no problem. Allison then mentions how Adriana and Jaya are the main targets because they are likely working together. This is especially dangerous because Adriana has an idol. Mark says they can plan a split vote plan between them to make the idol pointless. Allison agrees, and they continue plotting how they would split the votes. Mark and Sarah chat as Sarah tries to figure out who he's truly loyal to. She admits she's confused by his gameplay since sometimes he sides with Ivy, but other times he doesn't. Yet, him and Ivy never seem to throw each other under the bus. Mark says he told himself going into this game he would never talk badly about his own mother-in-law. Hence, nobody hears him throw her under the bus. Sarah then asks if he's still loyal to the Who players, but Mark truthfully tells her he's going to need to remain loyal to the majority crew, which are Anna, Boo Boo, Karen, and Allison. He has no reason to go after them at this point. Sarah sighs and says they can still talk things over tomorrow. Day 24. It's time for the immunity challenge. Jaya hands over her necklace and Justin begins with the rules. In this, everyone will be randomly divided into 3 groups of 3. Each player will face their own group members off in a game of hopscotch. The goal is to get to the end of the hopscotch tiles and return without failing. The winners from each group will face off in a final round where the winner of that will win individual immunity, safe from the vote tonight. With that, everyone draws for Group 1, and it ends up being Ivy, Allison, and Boo Boo. They each throw their rocks at the tiles, indicating which tile they must avoid. Boo Boo has an early lead but struggles later on, giving Ivy time to catch up and snatch his lead. Ivy almost falls over halfway to the starting tile but regains her balance. As Boo Boo closes in on her, she gets to the starting tile successfully, winning her round. The next group going up is Jaya, Adriana, and Mark. They throw their rocks onto the tiles and then start jumping. Jaya falls on her 2 feet right away, meaning she has to go back and throw her rock again. After a few seconds, Mark breezes to the end and starts making his way back while Adriana isn't even close to the end yet. Adriana stumbles at the end anyway and has to restart, but it doesn't matter as Mark reaches the beginning tile successfully, winning the second round. For round 3, the last 3 going up are Anna, Sarah, and Karen. They each throw their rocks and begin jumping. All 3 make good progress with Sarah leading, but she then falls on her 2 feet near the end. Anna makes it to the end but goes too far, falling on her 2 feet as well. This means Karen leads. Karen reaches the end tile successfully and turns around to head back. She makes her way back while Sarah tries catching up. Sarah falls near the end again and Karen reaches the starting tile, meaning Karen wins round 3. The winning 3 then prepare to face off. It's Ivy versus Mark versus Karen. They throw their rocks and start jumping, with Mark taking a quick lead. He reaches the end and turns back. Meanwhile, Karen and Ivy are close to the end. Karen reaches the end while Ivy slows down quite a lot. It doesn't matter as Mark reaches the beginning tile and wins himself individual immunity. Justin puts the necklace on him and confirms he isn't going home at this final 9 vote. He tells everyone to head back to camp, so they do. At Reveille camp, Karen hugs Mark for his victory and he thanks her. She tells him the plan for them as of now is to vote Adriana out. If she uses her idol, either Jaya or Sarah will go home in a split vote. Mark is chill with this and asks who is voting who. Karen says the 2 of them and Ivy will do Adriana while Anna, Boo Boo, and Allison do either Sarah or Jaya. This means the vote will be a 3-3-3 tie as long as everyone sticks to the plan. Adriana talks to Boo Boo, asking for his help tonight. She doesn't want to go home yet. Boo Boo tells her she needs to use her idol or else she'll remain targeted. Adriana asks who the second vote will be, and Boo Boo says it's Sarah. Him, Anna, and Allison plan to vote Sarah. If Adriana wants, she can vote Sarah as well to make the vote 4-3-2. Adriana finds this intriguing but doesn't know whether this is true or not. Ivy talks with Sarah, telling her that the plan for most people is to vote Adriana out and split the vote onto Jaya. Sarah nods and says she'll vote Adriana in that case. Ivy finds this great and tells her she's going to go talk to other people. As Ivy leaves her alone, Sarah confirms she's never voting Adriana. Mark later talks to Allison and Anna, asking them if the split vote plan is confirmed yet. Anna says yes and that they are voting Sarah as their secondary vote in the case Adriana uses her idol tonight. Mark says it sounds like a good plan in that case. Allison sneaks in a question for Mark as she tries to gauge how close he is to Ivy. He says he's not really that close to her, but he doesn't talk badly about her. Allison tells him that people assume he's working with her as a duo since they are in-laws after all, but Mark says that anyone thinking that is probably just finding a reason to target him and Ivy. It's not true that he's with Ivy and he stands by it. When Mark leaves them, Anna instantly says he's a liar. Allison nods repeatedly and thought the same. Jaya then intrudes their conversation, asking them if they heard any names yet. Anna simply says she heard Sarah and Adriana as the votes tonight. Jaya then leaks that she heard Ivy was getting votes as well. Allison asks her who is part of it, and she says her, Adriana, and Sarah were planning to do her tonight. Anna and Allison are a bit surprised that Ivy and Adriana are so willing to flip on each other. Jaya says she personally doesn't trust Ivy and Mark together, so she would rather send Ivy out. Anna then says that rivalries will always be paired together, including her and Adriana. Jaya reiterates she's not working with Adriana and only voted Allison last night to hopefully be in the numbers. Allison goes into a deep thought as she processes where the votes are going. She could either stick to the split vote plan or become a 4th vote for Ivy due to the suspicion that her and Mark are working together. Night 24. Everyone arrives to tribal council and Justin welcomes the jury. Caden smiles, but Tanner isn't as happy as him. Justin begins the discussion asking Adriana how camp has been lately after the massive blow-up last vote. Adriana laughs and claims she's much more calm now. Though, camp has been fairly active with everyone talking game non-stop. Karen agrees and says she keeps losing her voice because of the amount of talking there is at camp. Justin asks Sarah if this amount of discussion over the vote is normal or if it's only now spiking. Sarah believes it's spiking right now because they are reaching the end game. Everyone is much more desperate to reach the end. Allison agrees with her and adds that if you aren't open to many options, you are thinking too straightforwardly. Anna jumps in and says you can technically still play this game well even if you play a simple one. Adriana doesn't agree though, talking about how important it is to have a good perception from the jury. She even says that if she becomes a juror this season, she won't vote someone if they were boring and basic. She wants to see big and explosive moves. By doing so, you are putting yourself more at risk but still successfully pulling off amazing moves. Allison laughs and refers back to last tribal when she took a big risk to take out Tanner. She almost went home too. Adriana nods and says that although she's a fake person who loves to lie all the time, she can respect how she took a big leap in this game. With that, Justin wraps up the chat and says it's time to vote.
I'll tally the votes. If anyone has a hidden immunity idol and they want to play it, now would be the time to do so. Alright, I'll read the votes. First vote, Adriana. Sarah. That's one vote Adriana, one vote Sarah. Ivy. Adriana. 2 votes Adriana. Sarah. That's 2 votes Adriana, 2 votes Sarah, 1 vote Ivy. Ivy. We're tied again, 2 votes Adriana, 2 votes Sarah, 2 votes Ivy. Adriana. 3 votes Adriana. Ivy. We're tied again, 3 votes Adriana, 3 votes Ivy, 2 votes Sarah, 1 vote left. 12th person voted out of Survivor Rivals and the 3rd member of the jury. Ivy.
Ivy remains unfazed when she hears her name and Mark instantly tenses up at the blind side. Many people breathe out at the shocking vote, especially Karen, who was truly convinced Ivy was staying. Anna is especially pissed, trying to figure out who flipped on such a split vote again. All the while, Allison stays quiet as the one who flipped. Ivy puts her torch down and Justin snuffs it. Before she prepares to go, Justin tells her to instead sit at the jury bench as things aren't done for tonight. Everyone immediately stares at Justin. Ivy then makes her way to the jury bench and sits next to Tanner and Caden, who are more excited about a potential twist than giving Ivy any attention. Justin explains that tonight is a double tribal, which means another person will be voted out by the end of the night. Everyone looks distraught and Adriana angrily side-eyes the rest of the tribe. Karen and Anna begin to panic as there's no time to discuss the next vote. Justin relieves everyone though, as he says they'll get to compete for individual immunity once again. For this challenge, they will compete in trivia. He'll ask a question about the Hawaiian Islands and the rest must answer correctly to stay in the game. If incorrect, you are out. The last player standing wins immunity. After that, they'll go straight to the vote. Justin begins with question 1, and after everyone answers, only Allison and Adriana are correct. That means Boo Boo, Karen, Anna, Sarah, Mark, and Jaya are eliminated. For question 2, both Allison and Adriana get the question wrong. For the third question, they both get it right, keeping the suspense between the two of them. As for the fourth round, Adriana gets the question wrong while Allison is right, meaning Allison wins individual immunity. Justin asks Mark to hand over his necklace to her, so he does. With that, Justin says they need to get to the next vote right now, so everyone looks around, trying to figure out what they will do. Some people begin to whisper as well, including the majority group and Sarah, Jaya, and Adriana.
I'll tally the votes. If anyone has a hidden immunity idol and they want to play it, now would be the time to do so. Adriana decided to use her hidden immunity idol. She is playing it for herself. Any votes for Adriana will not count. I'll read the votes. First vote. Adriana does not count. 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 Sarah. That's one vote, Sarah. Mark. One vote, Sarah. One vote, Mark. One vote left. 13th person voted out of Survivor Rivals and the 4th member of the jury. Mark.
Sarah and Adriana continue to smile while Jaya awkwardly sits between them after flipping on Adriana. Mark gets up and Anna watches him as she's in disbelief he went home over anyone else. Caden and Tanner smile on the jury bench after Adriana's idol play, but Ivy remains sad. Mark puts his torch down next to Justin and watches it get snuffed. He leaves with many people frazzled by the vote result. Justin then tells the final 7 to head back to camp, so they do. Next time on Survivor Rivals. With Adriana's idol gone after the surprise double, she tries to dig herself out of her giant hole as she still remains on the bottom. However, because of Allison's flip-flop gameplay this merge, will Anna and Boo Boo vote her out next? Will Karen, Allison's closest ally, try to protect her? Or will she let go of her? Plus, past player Corinne comes back to visit for a special reward. All of this will be featured on Thursday's episode. Ivy's final thoughts. Ivy is currently pissed that both her and Mark got out back-to-back tonight. This means her family won't get as much money as she wished for. She's unsure what happened and why she got 4 votes since she thought only Jaya, Adriana, and Sarah were on the outs now. It seems that someone had other plans and voted her out instead. She's glad she was able to somewhat repair her relationship with Mark. Mark's final thoughts. Mark was blindsided by both the double tribal reveal and the vote result. He isn't sure why Adriana idled him out over someone stronger like Allison or Anna. At this point, he's rooting for Allison and Boo Boo to take home the win. As for Ivy, he hopes she can accept him into her life after this experience. He hopes Survivor brought them closer together.